Largest school district in the Triad. Masks are required for all Guilford County schools and social distancing is recommended. How COVID-19 is not the only concern for the new school year, coming up in 5 minutes.
Meantime, the Davidson County School Board will meet tonight to discuss possible changes to its pandemic rules. It comes as more than 300 students are in quarantine because of exposure in the classroom.
But first, a major update from the Food and Drug Administration. It has given full approval to the Pfizer vaccine. It's the first COVID vaccine in the United States to earn that distinction.
WFMY News 2's Avery Powell got reaction from local health experts.
Health officials told me today 30% of Americans have been holding out on getting the vaccine. Now they're hoping that percentage goes down.
I think what you're going to see is lots of people that now they're like, okay, I see it now. It's FDA approved. I'm going to come get the vaccine.
Forsyth County Health Director Joshua Swift says the FDA approval of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine, now called Comirnaty, will push more people to get the shot.
And I think this will help them feel confident in the vaccine, that it's safe, it's effective, it's been tested.
Dr. Katie Passaretti with Atrium Health says even if it doesn't push everyone to get the vaccine, it will make a difference.
So I'm hopeful it will increase. I don't know that it will take care of everyone in the past couple of months who have told me that they're waiting for full approval. I suspect, may move on to another reason.
Director of Pharmacy Oncology at Cone Health, Andre Harvin, agrees.
If they want to be skeptics or they want to, for whatever reason, be a bad actor and tell you not to get a vaccine, they're always going to manufacture another reason why you shouldn't do it.
But Harvin says listen to the science and medical professionals who now even more can say get the shot.
We hope that everyone, if you're still on the sidelines, you get off the sideline, you join us here in this fight against this virus, and let's just knock it down and get out of the way so we can get our lives back.
The FDA approval might also mean more companies requiring their employees to get vaccinated. I'll explain why coming up at 6.
Avery, thanks. Moderna says it plans to finish its FDA approval application this month. Johnson & Johnson says it's still gathering data from trials, but plans to file for full approval this year.
Right now, just over half of the U.S. population is fully vaccinated. The number is 51.5%. The rate of vaccinations has picked up recently as unvaccinated patients infected with the Delta variant fill up hospitals in parts of the country. Now that the Pfizer vaccine got full FDA approval, the Pentagon announced it will require members of the military to get vaccinated, and New York City's public school teachers and staff must do so as well.
The surge comes as our state's hospitalization rate has leveled off over the past few days. You haven't heard me say that in a while. Today, the state is reporting just shy of 3,200 patients. It's not far off from the number we saw the past 3 days. Let's zoom in here to give you a closer look at the last couple of days here. Our numbers have hovered just over 3,100 for the past 4 days. Now, this is significant because prior to this trend, our state had been adding 50 to 150 patients every day. Obviously, our numbers are still way too high, but I'm encouraged that we've been able to see a few steady days.
The Davidson County School Board meets tonight to talk about COVID-19 protocols. This comes as nearly 400 students and staff were sent home to quarantine during the first week of classes. Right now, masks are optional in the school district. WFMY News 2's Grace Holland joins us live now in Davidson County. Grace, you talked to parents about what they hope comes from this meeting.
Chad and Julie, that meeting is set to start in a little over an hour and a half. All we know right now is that the superintendent is going to be giving board members a COVID-19 update. Many Davidson County parents think it's possible that board members could discuss whether or not to put a mask mandate in place. Now let's have a refresher. The Board of Education voted to to make masks optional for students and staff in school earlier this month, something many parents showed up to support during that meeting. 373 students have been required to quarantine in the district in the first week of school, and it's catching some parents' attention. Brittany Young agreed with the mask optional policy and says her kids have had no COVID exposures at school, but she's concerned after seeing others she knows catch the virus.
I mean, if my kids were exposed or they would have to quarantine, that obviously affects my job and my husband's job. And then you have to think about the people they've been around. Have they been around someone that is immunocompromised or could someone else get sick? I mean, it's just like a domino effect.
Jennifer Fischel is another Davidson County schools mom who prefers her high school son to choose whether to mask, but she says she would rather avoid remote learning.
Either way, I mean, obviously we want what's best for our kids. I want my son to be able to stay in school. So if the only way that's going to happen is if they have to put those masks back on, you know, it is what it is. We have to do it.
No word yet on whether board members will take action tonight. We will bring you updates as we get them on air and online.
We will be watching. Thanks, Grace. Rockingham County Schools is the latest district to change course on masks. On Friday, the board voted to require masks after a heated meeting with parents. Davie County Schools also reversed its mask optional policy. District leaders say they plan to change the policy once trends improve. Guilford and Winston-Salem Forsyth both have mask mandates. District leaders approved the mandates last month.
Wilkes Central High School announces it is postponing 2 varsity football games because of possible exposure to COVID-19 during last Friday's game. The games scheduled for this Friday as well as next Friday are on hold. Makeup dates have not been announced yet. JV football games will still be played as scheduled.
Today was the first day back for Guilford County students, along with many others. Roughly 70,000 Guilford County students went back today. Superintendent Dr. Sharon Contreras says despite the pandemic, students are happy to be back.
When I ask them what are they nervous about, it's not the, COVID-19 pandemic. They say, I'm nervous about being a senior. I'm nervous about being a freshman. So it's typical high school nervousness, and I feel good about that they're not coming back afraid of the pandemic. They have the typical high school jitters.
Dr. Contreras says getting vaccinated and following protocols outside school buildings are key to keeping students in the classroom.
Winston-Salem Forsyth County School students also headed back to the class today. The district has set up a hotline for parents who may have questions about the district's COVID-19 policies, procedures, technology, and more. You can call Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. The number is 336-661-3120.
Depending on what time you were out and about today, you probably noticed more traffic, including those big yellow school buses. WFMY News 2's Jenna Krzina spoke with law enforcement about traffic reminders now that school is back in session.
The lieutenant of the High Point Police Traffic Unit says drivers pass stop school buses multiple times a day, every day. It's a hefty fine if you get caught, but it's also a risk you don't want to take.
The very least is you pass a stop school bus, but the worst could be you strike and injure or kill a child.
Lieutenant Jeffrey Krause with High Point Police says it's an offense that happens way too often. Drivers passing a stop school bus.
When you see the yellow lights, go ahead and start slowing down and be prepared to stop.
Krause says it's also a violation they don't take lightly.
If it's a first-time offense, it's a minimum of a $500 fine. And then if you're convicted of a second offense, the fine, I'm not sure the amount it goes up, but it goes up and you lose your driver's license for a period of 1 year.
Highway Patrol Master Trooper Brandon Baker says the law applies everywhere in the state.
It's really incumbent upon every driver to pay attention and treat each school bus like their kids on it.
As for a refresher on the rules.
If it is a 4-lane roadway that has any type of median, whether it be a grass median or a concrete median or a cable barrier, just the traffic going the direction of the bus has to stop. Pretty much anything else, you have to stop no matter which way you're going. If you're behind the bus or if you're approaching the bus from the front, you have to stop.
Law enforcement also shared some advice for parents. If your child rides the bus, it's important to teach them to stand away from the road and to not be distracted while waiting to be picked up.
Jenna, thanks. We know a lot of kids were excited to go back to school today, but some teachers and staff have also been counting down the days.
Just ask East Forsyth Middle School Principal Donald Wyatt.
Good morning. Good morning. This is all the time. Hey, man, how's my goalie? Take it on 3. 1, 2, 3. I never turn it off. Put your hand up in the air. Look, he's taller than me. I get my energy. Come on. You ready? Have you missed me? From these children, and the more excited they are, the more excited I am. You good? You ready? Make amazing choices today. You know where you're going?
804.
Bam! Nailed it! I mean, my hope is that it makes them feel the same way every day, that I am excited to be here and that I am here for them, and that together we can get through anything that this world throws at us. You ready? You sure? Make amazing choices today, okay? Bam.
Hey.
The kid's coming back. Have you missed me? Come on, Ziggy. It's a magical day. It's a day full of new beginnings. It's a day full of learning new things. It's a day that the kids are excited and the parents are excited. It's been a long summer for them and they're ready to get them back in school. All right, let's do it.
That's so great.
Did you miss me?
Yeah, that was great. And I love that he kept saying, make amazing choices today.
It's really wonderful too, because I know he is wearing his mask, but you can actually feel his huge smile underneath that mask. He is so pumped up, glad to see it. Happy first day of back to school for many kids in the Piedmont Triad. Tim, you loved the first day of school. Chad, you did as well.
It's kind of an exciting day, right? Like, I remember certain things, like you had probably new sneakers maybe to wear to school. I remember putting like the book covers on the textbooks, decorating my locker, and you got to see your friends if you hadn't seen them all summer. That was a cool part too.
I was always very unsure about what to wear that first day because you got a couple of different outfits and so I was always like, okay, what are we gonna wear on that first day of school?
So who chose the final outfit, Mom?
No way.
Really? Did you eeny, miny, moe it?
Nope, I picked it and I said, Mom, this is what I'm gonna wear today. She said, okay.
And see, look, it translates into today.
I actually picked this outfit today.
Yeah. Tim, you as well. We can do that.
Yes. Hey, if you're outside, you got to wear these summer clothes still, right? Because around here, first day of school, oh yes, it's sizzling still, and we are going to keep this around for a while. Here's how your day looked on this Monday, all sun, no problems, no storms so far for today. And looking at the numbers, it's every bit of a summer afternoon. Check this out. Started out the morning at 70 degrees, warmed it up to 90 for the afternoon, a little above average on both counts. In fact, someone asked me today, they said, Tim, when do our averages start going down? They already have, where our average high is down to 86. We just haven't been behaving, and boy, has it been really hot. And it will still stay hot all week long. Numbers in your hometowns today, generally in the upper 80s to close to 90 degrees. Burlington leading the way at 92 this afternoon. There have been some storms in North Carolina today, mostly from the Triangle down into the Sandhills, but nothing locally. We're going to stay dry through this evening as far as I can tell. Looking up to the north, that is what is left of that tropical system moving into the north. Henri just swirling as a tropical depression, really a remnant low at this point, and off it will go. It did create a couple of tornadoes near Boston, Massachusetts today, but overall the impact up there has been a little bit less than feared initially, and that's good news. Looking up and down the East Coast for tomorrow, it's more of the same. We're in the hot zone. Heat, humidity, all the same things are going to keep on happening here, and it just will continue into Wednesday as well. Chances of storms this week will be lower than they were last week. I think tomorrow mainly dry, just a low chance of a pop-up storm on Wednesday, and no real refreshing air on the docket either. We're going to stay humid all the way through the weekend and hot all through the weekend as well, with highs right around 90 each and every day. Taking a look at the tropics, no active systems to talk about. As I mentioned, Henri is off into the northeast and not a problem any longer. We do have a couple of systems though to keep an eye on. One over toward Africa. That has about a 40% chance of developing in the next 5 days. It would likely swirl up to the north. Another system right here, as it moves in the central part of the Atlantic, that also has a 40% chance of forming later on this week. And one more over here, it's actually in the Caribbean now, but by the time it gets closer to Mexico, could develop. None of those systems seem to pose any risk at all to North Carolina. Of course, we'll let you know if and when that changes. This is the start of the really busy time of hurricane season from late August into middle of September. We'll let you know, but as of now, nothing to worry about for us here at home. For tonight, 70 is your low, clear skies, it is muggy, but probably no storms. 92, it's a hot day tomorrow. Again, hardly any chance of a storm, so it should be a dry day even though it's so hot and sticky. Similar story for the rest of the week. Wednesday, slightly better chance of a couple late day showers and thunderstorms, but each and every day I've got us at the 90-degree mark, folks, so buckle up. Summer is not done with us yet, and there are no signs of fall here in the Carolinas.
A fifth person has died following flooding in western North Carolina. First responders say they found the body of a 74-year-old man during rescue efforts. One person is still missing, which is a big improvement from the 20 people missing last Thursday.
Rescue crews are still searching for dozens of missing people in Tennessee after an area west of Nashville was hit hard by deadly flooding over the weekend. The record-breaking rainfall killed at least 22 people. The National Weather Service says up to 17 inches of rain fell in Humphreys County in less than 24 hours on Saturday, shattering Tennessee's record for one day of rainfall. Officials say damage estimates to infrastructure, homes, and schools is in the millions.
President Biden met with his national security team today to talk about security challenges facing troops in Afghanistan. Thousands of Americans are still trapped in Kabul as teams make trips into the city to bring them back to the airport to be evacuated. They've evacuated more than 16,000 refugees in the past 24 hours, headed to overcrowded processing centers in the Middle East. The government even called in private airlines to help move evacuees to Europe. President Biden says he might need to extend next week's withdrawal deadline in order to make sure everyone is evacuated. The Taliban says it will not agree to any extension.
And those are just some of the headlines of the day. Thank you so much for watching our online version of WFMY News 2 at 5 o'clock.
Join us at 6 o'clock for another update. Good night.